And we are live with Tmak, Triple T Taping, the man of many names. How you doing, man? Anybody that's not
Good, man.
watching this and they're just listening, this guy's fucking balling. You're looking good, dude.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, dude. Fucking that's the new troll shirt this month.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I liked it, man.
It's a good one, eh? You know what I found with their clothing? It's not consistent in sizing.
Not even close, right? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, I don't want to be the only one, but like sometimes, like this shirt fits. See how my arms, like how it lands?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just fits so perfect.
yeah.
And then when I put on same size something else, not so much. Sometimes it's a little bit too big.
I kind of feel like um with the different prints. I've had that too, like when it's a little bit of a lighter shirt, and I like those shirts. But yeah, the sizing is definitely different. Kind of same with the hats. Like some of them just fit bang on, and then some of them are a little bit smaller, which is fine. But I mean, if my head was any bigger, it would be an issue. Oh, dope, brother. So what have you been up to?
Yeah, finally.
I
Been
know.
listening to you forever, and now I get to talk to you.
Yeah, dude. I was wondering, I was like, am I going to meet this guy in an event or is it going to end up being the podcast? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure which one it would be, but I'm happy it's
I
this.
know.
I
When
know.
you asked, it was kind of wrong timing, but now it's perfect.
Yeah, you were doing what is going on behind you, I think, when we were first talking. You were
Yeah,
trying. So,
exactly.
what is that in the picture frames?
So, oh, this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what the actual word for it is, but it's Asians have come up with it to do countertops. So you can make a countertop look like granite without it being granite. It's like this sheeting. It's really thin
Okay. That's dope.
and different kind of colors. They have good transitions. You would honestly never know that it's not granite.
Hmm.
Unless someone does a mistake putting it on, you would never know it's not granite. And when the light hits it, all of this is shiny.
Okay.
It's got a nice gloss to it.
Yeah, dude, you did a dope.
So, thank you.
Yeah.
This is all out of drywall.
No, I was wondering if that was MDF.
This is all drywall and trimtex.
Nice.
And you know where my TV is? I don't know if you remember what it looked like. It looked like shiplap. That's all
Yep.
drywall and trimtex.
No shit.
Yeah.
So
My
you're
wife wanted, so when we were coming up with ideas what to do with the feature wall, she wanted shiplap. And
right.
I wanted to do everything in drywall just to say,
Totally.
it's my thing, right? So my own house, I'm gonna do in drywall. And I'm doing all this fancy stuff for people. So when is it my turn?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll meet you in the middle. Well, I'll get you shiplap looking look. I'll just do it out of drywall.
Yeah. So did they have like a 45, like a bevel bead? Like what did you use? Like expansion joint?
Here,
No, no, on
here.
your shiplap.
Oh, can I turn this? Is that cool during the
Fuck
podcast if I
yeah,
turn
dude.
this?
You can take me for a walk if you want.
So right there, see
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
So this
Just shadow
is
bead.
all one, right? It's not shadow bead. It's called man, I should have came prepared. It's
It's all
called
right. So as with the profile of it, does it come across, make a little box in, and then come across again? Like it's got two legs, one on either side, and it
so
sits in?
exactly. And then it's
Yeah.
a U.
So it's almost like an expansion joint, but it's like
Yeah.
it's hard though.
Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, it's vinyl,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, sometimes they have that expansion joint where it's like kind of gummy
but
and
you
that's
have
what it's
play in it.
for. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
I
dope,
got you.
man. I never would have thought that that stuff behind you or that wall wasn't carpentry.
Then you are in the drywall business. So imagine just an
Yeah.
average one of my friends coming in, they don't believe me. The guy, I was switching over from Rogers to cable, and the guy couldn't believe me that it's not wood.
Yeah. Super dope, man. So
Thanks,
then
brother.
in the black area, that's going to end up being fresco.
So originally, these were all supposed to be the same. I
Right.
even bought enough for this. And then every time I posted something in my stories about the Reno, Nick will throw a little jab in,
Oh yeah.
a little 1, 2 here and there. That should be fresco. And to be fair, in his defense, when I was on his pod, I told him that I wanted to do fresco on my feature wall. That's before we even started.
Right.
So I forgot his handle, but I think it's CB drywall. I
Oh
could be
yeah.
wrong.
Yep.
He did. So I wanted to back out of the fresco and do something else here.
Hmm.
And then CB drywall had a post of him. He did it like I don't know what kind of black, but black fresco on his fireplace.
Right.
I don't know if it was his own or not, but man, it looked mint.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I want that.
There's like Galterio, I call it Cal, whatever I call it, right? But like that used to be the darkest dark, and it was a double color pack, and Nick's now come out with a triple color pack, and it's like black. Um, so I don't know which one of the two of it is. When we did Illinois, we mixed black mica powder in the sealer. So in those places where you'd see like the gold from the gold sealer, it was like real dark. So it was like shadowing almost in the black wall.
Right.
Turned out amazing.
Even the
Yeah,
wall behind you looks pretty badass.
it's pretty dope, man. Yeah, like
Yeah, it is.
there's a couple little spots where I let it drag on purpose to pull it out. They look like almost like scratches. And then I did the gold sealer. Like if you're ever here and take a look, there's tons of little patches of like slashes that are gold. It's a
Yeah,
fucking
it
dope
looks
wall.
so good.
It was my
You
first
know,
real one.
yeah,
Yeah, so I don't know. I would have done a better job now, but I'm not changing it. I like it.
I don't honestly looks killer.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, you're saying how behind you, so behind your right side is not the same as on the left
Yeah.
side?
So I want to see if you can like right in here.
Yeah,
That like
yeah.
that.
Oh, buddy, that looks like a part of it.
Yeah, it's sick, man. And like you can create this like veining a little bit with the gold. And then I went overboard and wasted like a whole fucking thing of sealer on a sample board. I made like a big gold vein coming through it and like did a bunch of silly shit in the beginning. Yeah, dude. Yes, fresco's crazy. Like I'm so excited you're coming to that event.
Man, I have to.
Yeah,
I
man.
want to meet all of you guys. And like I get it, I can teach myself like everybody, but
Yeah.
for me to do this, I don't want to screw around.
No,
Like
do
I
it
want to
right the
get it
first time.
right off the bat, yeah. Because right here, that's an LED light.
Nice.
So this is not drywall, this piece.
Okay.
It's a steel track for the LED to go in here.
So would
But I
that,
had to make sure when I installed it, because I wanted to do 4 inches, 2 inches, 4 inches, 2 inches everywhere.
yeah.
So I had to make sure that this was the same size as this. This is drywall, that's fine, but this is steel, right?
Yeah, you're not moving the steel. You can manipulate the drywall, but
No,
not the fucking.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it
And
does. It
there you
looks
have it.
dope, man. It looks super
Thank you.
dope.
And I got a dimmer on that one.
I was gonna ask you that too. Does it do colors and
Yeah.
all that?
This one, no.
Yeah,
The
okay.
only one that does colors is this one.
The one on the
Hold on.
top.
There it is.
Nice.
So like I have a remote
Yeah.
and then like you can just whatever you want. And it's pretty dim right now. Like I could turn it up.
Yeah.
I just have it on low. It looks better and it's subtle.
So yeah,
But to
exactly. I like the way that it is for sure.
but to be honest, Sean, my favorite part of all, out of all of them, is this one.
Oh,
The
dude.
no baseboard, and it's just all along. I did a D300 on there.
So you just have a light strip along the bottom and then
Yes,
wow. You
right.
did a
So you know how
crazy
people.
job, dude.
I went honestly, it was supposed to be just the wall, and we just went crazy. That's why it took me so long.
Yeah. But sometimes that's what happens, man. You get into a project, especially when it's you, and you kind of come up with a budget, and then you start seeing stuff, and you're like, man, this would look way doper if it was a little bit different. And like, you know what I mean? And it just
Yeah.
evolves like that. It takes a little bit longer, but I mean, like, that's I don't know how you could have done that any better. Like for what you were going for. I like that you didn't do the stuff in the bottom in that big window. I think that's smart to do that
Yeah,
separately. Yeah.
sideways. Because here, after fresco, she wants to put family photos and stuff.
Nice.
And I asked Nick already, and he said it was cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
whatever you want to it, man. It's just fucking mud. It's just like any other wall
yeah,
in your house. It just looks better.
yeah. It's true.
Sick, dude. It's fun having like trowel gangsters on this podcast. You know what I mean? It's because it's that's outside of my wheelhouse. Like it isn't so much now. Actually, like maybe the last 6 months I've sharpened up pretty good, but it's like it's
Right.
nothing compared to like people like you or Steve or Teak or you know what I mean? When it's like those videos where you just like you know exactly the pressure, you know exactly what you're doing. It's fucking deadly to
To be
watch.
honest, I've been doing it since I was a kid.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
it's that muscle
So it
memory,
just
right?
comes naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have to be like
Um,
very careful when I'm doing it. And my fucking trowel's brand new pretty much. Like I've been only running it a
mhm.
couple of months, so it's not broken in yet. Like there's a bunch of things going against me.
Yeah, new anything I don't like.
Yeah.
That's why, to be honest, I know it's faux pas, but the drywall master box, they sent me a box.
Yeah.
Man, right out of the box, it felt like it was broken in.
Nice.
And that's one of the first, you know? The only thing I wouldn't mind it being a little stiff is a trowel when I first get it.
Yeah.
I like it a little bit stiff, you
That's what
know?
so I went and got a Nella Black because I just wanted I think it was the nicest one. I'm like, if I'm gonna get a trowel, I'm gonna get the right one. And it's a fucking finishing trowel. So then I went and got a craft. It's just like a 12 by 4 dope, super stiff craft. And I just plane it. Like, where do I want it? Where do I want it to go to? Fill it full of mud, done. It's but you almost feel like you're gonna cut into the board a little bit though, with it when it's that stiff. I'm so used to it flexy.
Now with my shoulders shot from the job,
Yeah,
that's why I like them stiff because it cuts the edge easier for me
right,
as opposed to me pushing more.
right.
But honestly, Nella trowels, it's not my, I'm just, maybe I'm not used to them.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it in a nice way. I just don't like them.
So I'm working at CSR right now in Barrie, and the Nella fucking hand knives look awfully close to the level 5 knives, you know? And I'm kind of like, what the fuck is going on here?
But both my Nellas that I bought, it's not steel. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not stainless steel. Like it's not what a craft tool comes in. You know what? I'll just swear by the craft ones and
Yeah, they're
also the Marshalltown ones.
um yeah, we had Marshalltown ones out west, and I liked them.
My thing is, I don't like wooden handles. I just get so reactive like to them. And after a while, when I travel a lot of these houses I do, if I'm traveling beads, I'm doing them all day.
Yeah.
Man, halfway through the day, my hand does not feel good. You know,
So
something, and I get calluses. That's why I love the Marshalltown. They have the rubber ones, but it
yeah.
has to be a certain Marshalltown. Oh, look at that.
What the fuck
Um,
is this thing?
because I was going like this
Yeah,
for a minute.
it's the stupidest thing. I was holding my hand like this while I was talking to Teak, and it did the same thing. I'm like, I wish I could fucking turn that off. But
When were you talking to Teak?
yesterday, we had a podcast
Oh,
yesterday,
no
just
way.
out of the blue, man. Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
It was good. Um, yeah, okay. So you're talking about killing your hands with the trowels. I was doing all my fresco with like a 8 or 9 inch knife. Like and before I really got into trowels, I was just knife and pan.
Fair enough.
So Nick gives me, oh no, he didn't give me this one. I just got a Circle Brand pool trowel. I just wanted whatever was available, and I picked it up. It has a wooden handle, and then I started getting pretty good with it. And then when I went out west, Aaron etched it fresco harmony on the side of it. So like I'm obviously
Yeah.
going to keep it forever now. And then I do the CSR lunchroom and it was like 3,000 feet or something stupid, 1,500 feet.
Oh, I remember that.
Um, when I second coated that, it was like the size of a toonie right here on my hand. It was just a fucking blister. I started wrapping my hand on it and putting the bar on the back of my hand so
Oh yeah.
I could like reverse swipe with it because I couldn't even use my fucking trowel, dude. I was like, this is
And what was the
crazy.
handle?
Wood, like a
Oh, it was
super
wood.
shitty wood
Yeah.
handle. Yeah, but it's I had no idea. It was one of those like first lessons you learn with a trowel, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, well, some of the best trowels out there are wood, like curry trowels and stuff. They're wood.
yeah.
It's just I don't do well with it. Just like CGC red mud,
Hmm.
I don't do well with it. I used to be a union taper back in the day, and they wouldn't change the mud from red because it would hot out, and I'd be sanding, and it would fall, and I'd get like irritated
Yes.
on my arms, and it was only red CGC. So that's pretty much when I quit the union. They wouldn't switch it over, and then I just realized that I shouldn't just go do my own thing, buy my own mud.
Totally.
And yeah,
And with a skill set like yours, like what the fuck are you working for someone for? Like,
I
right?
know. When you're
Wait.
young, you just don't know. And I
Oh
just
yeah.
came back from out west. I went out west when it was booming
Nice.
back in '07, '08, '09. And when I came back, I was like, I didn't have the same clientele. I was young still, like I didn't have a name. So I
Right.
went and joined the union.
Yeah, totally.
And I couldn't get grandfathered in, but I was in at 90% when I started.
That's dope.
And then I just found that it's not my thing and went and did my own.
Yeah, that's smart, man. I mean,
Mhm.
if you have the skill set and you're ready and you're all that stuff, it's the right decision, man. When you're learning the trade or like when you're not like super crazy driven, the union's a fucking dope idea. The work
Mhm.
just keeps coming. They just keep
Yeah, I
telling you
mean,
where
the
to
whole
go.
pension idea,
The pension's
you know,
huge.
benefits.
When I had E on here, we talked about well, I guess we didn't talk about it on the podcast. He and I talk quite a bit. Like he'll call when he's driving. And that's his big thing, man. Like he's doing his whole mechanics thing, but it's through the fucking union, and he's gonna have a huge pension when he's done. And it's like that was just his career trajectory. Anybody that's stuck with the union from when we were kids is in a real good spot right now. Um,
So who's this? Who did you say? What name?
Big E. Oh fuck, I wish I remembered his last name. Huge beard. He opened the troll box
Oh,
with the axe.
he's with us. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
Troco fan. Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
Super cool guy. Super humble.
Yeah.
But I've talked to a few people like that. Uh, union's not bad. You've got to deal with the bullshit. If there's some kind of horse shit on site, it's not your site. You got to deal with it. That's just the way that it is. And if you don't like the job that you said they send you to, it's too fucking bad. Like there's that kind of stuff. But
I was
I know.
definitely not trying to badmouth it. That's why I said it was just
No.
wasn't my thing,
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
I really did believe it wasn't my thing at all up until recently. I always had this like stipulation of like that it was like where lazy people worked, and because in framing and boarding, that's typically what you saw. It's at least what we saw when they were on the same sites as us. But that's just not the case. Like you see people, really good people that came from there and then branched out on
Hmm.
their own, and you know you also you're somebody else is paying you to fucking learn too, where like you can really sharpen up somewhere else.
Hmm.
Yeah, for
That's right.
sure. And so you're doing looks like just customs, eh?
Uh, for the most part, like the builders that I get most of my work from, they're mostly customs, and if not, they prefer not to put me in a cookie cutter house. They
Hmm.
prefer to save me for the custom when it's ready.
Dope.
So sometimes I'll do a smaller job. I honestly haven't done commercial in a long time
Hmm.
because anyone really gets away with commercial. Like they're not picky.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it's almost like taping 101 as opposed to when you get into some funky stuff and
I'll tell you,
some
man,
funky beats. But
when I was running commercial sites, the drywallers that would come in, they would hang the board, they do two coats of 90 and one coat of mud, and that was it. It's
right? It
like,
was good enough.
see you
Can't get
later.
away with that in the houses that we do, right?
Holy fuck, man. Could
Like
you
imagine you did
imagine?
that in the house you guys did in Surrey.
Yeah, we're just done in 3 days and everything looks like shit. We're like, okay, bye. I've had that conversation before though too, right? Because in a lot of these, like you said, commercial or whatever, they just want it done. Like nobody gives a shit what it looks like. Just get out of here. We're already late. Like
Yeah,
that's kind of the tone of everything. Um, if you took those guys and put them into a custom, it's not that it would even take them a really long time. They just couldn't do it. Like think
yeah,
about all the detail stuff. Like when you're standing up in like a 6 foot window well in the ceiling, like a skylight or something, like it has to be perfect. And it's like
yeah.
that takes some serious talent, man.
Yeah, and experience too. Put a talented
Totally.
guy in his first custom house, it won't be as easy as a guy that's already been there a few times.
Yeah. Well, because you've kind of like wiggled through, you've gone, oh shit, a couple of times, once you've been through a couple of houses and you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do that staircase because I'll just do this like I did last time or whatever. It's I've been fortunate enough that I've had people with me on the big ones. Like I haven't done anything solo. I did that basement. But it's always been nice to just have other people. Uh I did Jed's house solo. Wasn't bad. But there was no like big staircase or anything. I'm happy I'm up on the stilts now. I never thought that I was gonna, and then
Bro, you look like a natural.
bro, I stood up and started walking around. I was like, this is what the fuck was
Actually,
I so worried about?
when I first started watching those, when you guys first started posting videos,
Yeah,
it didn't click to me like they do a pass through a room, you're in there on stilts doing something, someone else. It didn't click to me. I'm like, holy shit, Brawley's on stilts.
yeah,
Like it
dude.
took a few takes, you know?
Uh, so I felt super comfortable in the room that I was in. So I was like doing everything that I needed to do. I could reach from the floor, it was 9 feet. But by the time we left, I was like walking around the main floor, no problem, like stepping over wires and shit. Like I was really comfortable really quickly. But they're only 16 inches.
Listen,
So
bro, we all started somewhere.
that's what yeah, he's actually,
And think about it too. Like all these people that go on stilts around you right now, they started when they were kids, bro.
yeah,
For
like
you to
Danny.
go on them right now, that's huge, man.
Yeah,
I can't say that if I've never walked on stilts, I can't say that I can just get on them and be comfortable at this age. So good
it,
for you, is what
I
I'm saying.
mean, I appreciate it. It's like watching, like Cam and Danny, dude. They just fucking hop up on these like huge stilts and they just like kill it. Like running boxes
Danny's
on
something
stilts
else
and
when it comes to stilts and stuff.
dude,
He's got balance for days.
he brought
He's
that
really talented.
he brought that like whatever the fuck you would
Hoverboard
call
thing?
that. Yeah, man. And we all kind of looked at him like, you better not get on that with your stilts. Like we
He's,
we got all these sponsors and then he breaks his fucking neck or something. Like
oh God. Yeah, but he's done. I know. I've
there's no way he'd
I've
fall.
learned his page. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's done crazier things.
Yeah. He's an
He's that guy's gonna
animal.
be young forever. Yeah, he's the type of guy that'll be young forever.
Yeah. I
Some
said
people have it and some don't.
I said a couple of times is he's like having a puppy around. Like the amount of energy like a puppy has.
You could tell.
It just run, and then he'll stop and like eat some cookies and drink some pop, and you're like, "Where? How old are you, bro?" And
I know.
and he just kills it. Like, it's crazy, man. He took over Colombia yesterday. Did you see all
Oh
that?
yeah.
Yeah, fuck
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I saw it at the end of the day. I thought it was supposed to be coming up on Friday, but it was Tuesday. I fucking missed the whole day. I just caught up at the end of the night.
Yeah, he came in hot with a nice mug shot.
Yeah. And then killed it. And then he was like, and I'll tape a house out at 2 o'clock. Cool, bro.
So you guys got that done in what, 6 days, 7 days,
Yeah.
that house?
Yeah. So
And
yes and no. So, Chad and I flew
what are
in
we
on
talking? First of all, what are we talking for square footage of the house and board?
30,000.
Okay.
And then there was roughly 1,500 feet of bead. like chamfer and inverted. So it was a
Right.
lot. That saw was going for 4 days.
Wow.
It was pretty wild. But we only had the one saw, so it's like people were dedicated to doing it. And then by the end of it, when Chad moved upstairs, he just started cutting all the pieces and leaving them at the windows, and then people were installing them that way.
Go behind. Smart.
Yeah, it was. But he and I got there on the Thursday before, started the Friday before. It was fucked, dude. Like I didn't want to make any posts about it, but like the borders did just such a shit job.
Wait. Oh, so you guys went before everybody got there?
Yeah, to prep it.
A week before?
3 days before.
Okay.
And just
And
like
what, like pre-fills and stuff? And
exactly. I didn't want anyone showing up to like a fucked up site. I wanted it to be good.
Mhm.
And it was pretty much trimtex gave us all that butt board. The borders put it all in backwards. Like they did
Backwards?
dude, yeah. So it didn't do shit. It was just
So it was actually
oh no,
like
it doesn't push it out, but it doesn't suck it in. Like you only get this on the one side. The other side's just flat. So
flat,
it's just floating. So it's strong. It has all the strength of the butt board, but it doesn't do what it's fucking supposed to. And
right?
so like that house was supposed to be all butt board. So we would just railroad every room. Like it was more work to do it incorrectly, for them
That's smart. You
anyways.
guys went there first.
Oh yeah, dude. I knew I was gonna go first. Yeah, so we did pre-fill, did a couple of things, got started on bead. That Sunday
So,
we set up that whole fucking walkthrough area with all the giveaway stuff, which was cool.
oh yeah. Quick question before you keep going. So, did you guys, whoever was planning out the whole thing, did you guys plan out everyone's tasks pre-hand?
No,
Like before you want? Oh no. So it was kind of on the fly when everybody got there?
we had like a strategy meeting like way back in like fucking February or something. And we just went through like if we can get through tape this day and we'll do trim text this day because Adriano will be there. And like we did like a real rough schedule. Um, Everybody just like took what they were good at and ran with it. Like Danny and Cam fucking taped that second floor. We all did our own rooms on the first day, and it took a little bit longer.
I saw that.
Um, and then we were just like, why the fuck are we doing this? And then once we all kind of like came together, we just started flying. Um, like I ran a roller the whole day. Like
Oh yeah.
I just chased Danny and like just tried to keep up with him. And it's like,
Oh
you
God.
are an animal. And then somebody was chasing me with the flusher. I don't even remember who it was because I wasn't even looking. I was just chasing Danny, right? Yeah, him and Cam like kind of I knew that Cam was good and I knew that he was fast. And when I saw Danny going, I was like, holy fuck. And Cam kept right up to him. Like they were
Right.
neck and neck pretty well the whole time that they were there together. So they kind of like I'm sure they're best friends now.
I've
Because
raved about Cam before,
yeah,
but I just don't want to sound like I'm kissing the guy's ass, but he's skilled.
it's crazy, man. Like even with
I
fresco,
guess,
like he just started it and he's good at it. Like he's very naturally good at finishing.
yeah, you could tell. It's just some people haven't, some don't. You could just tell he has it an extra.
Yeah.
Like I was telling Nick on his pod about, I don't know what you guys call it, this texture and this feeling where it's all circles and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And like, man, he kills that dude. Jeez.
Yeah, and he did those pendants too, which was dope. Um, yeah, I've never. Okay, I almost lied. So I do hear him go, well, I'm not sure I could do that, right? And then the next time you talk to him, he's just like, yeah, I got it done. And then when he puts his content out, it's like, dude, you fucking massacred that. Like that's what are you
He's
talking about? Maybe it's good. Like,
he's a
you,
quick picker upper. That's what he is, man. He
yeah,
picks up,
dude.
you could tell he just absorbs.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Mhm.
But yes, to answer the original question, it was like 5 or 6 days. I stuck around to do touch-ups when everyone left.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't much. It wasn't much at all. Like I jumped into the fresco with Nick and
Oh yeah,
everybody
that's
they
right.
they just ran through that house. Like Wes is a gangster with that Festool. Like Teak was saying on the podcast that like she was chasing him with the sponge and there was nothing. Like he just is
Yeah.
so good at it. And then obviously Cam's got to be the same because that's the crew of them, right? Like he had an attachment on it and then like standing with it hand up doing the tops. Like it was nuts, man.
Yeah.
He's got that vac dialed in. It was
Mm.
it was a lot of fun,
Does
man.
he live in BC?
No, they're in Ohio.
Oh,
Is that right? Yeah, I think
who's
so.
they?
Cam and Wes are a
Oh,
team.
oh, are they?
Yeah, that's where Wes comes from. He works with Cam.
I actually didn't even know about West till the gathering.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like super quiet, super nice guy though.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll
Seems
like
like it.
him. They're staying here with me.
They're here right now?
No, but they will be. They were
Oh,
talking about hotels and shit. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that?
why? Are they coming down for the fresco thing?
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
yeah, you and Thing are gonna be at fresco. That's right, for both days. That's sweet. I get to meet Cam too,
Yeah, dude.
and the West.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, Nick will
That's
be there
awesome
too.
stuff. Oh,
I
all
I
right.
I know, right? Um, I think he's gonna let you pick your colors too this time. The last time it was all like he brought a couple, but it sounds like everyone's gonna be able to pick whatever one they want. So if you've got the color in mind for the thing that you're gonna do behind you, just grab that color when you come to the
I
thing.
do. He knows.
Nice.
He knows. Yeah, but um, I just want him to show me how to do it.
Hmm.
I'm gonna ask my wife if she wants any like background colors or anything. So when I go there, I can really ask him. I'm really excited to meet him as well, right?
Hmm. Yes, cool dude, man. It's good.
Super.
It's gonna be dope,
That
man.
community, that core group of you guys, everyone seems super cool.
Everybody is, and there's just no bullshit. Like that first day, everybody's meeting each other kind of for the first time. Like we all know each other, we know each other's shit or whatever. But like after it was just like a family, man. It was just like that little group that we had in Illinois grew a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And like 8 of us in the same house for a week, super stressful. And we all got along great, man. It was crazy.
So where did everybody stay in hotels?
No, Aaron rented this fucking enormous like 9 bedroom house for us. And then the girls just had their own place. So they were always welcome with us. But if they wanted some time or whatever, and then everybody's separate too, right? It's like there's a girl's house, guy's house. The guys had a bathroom on site, and then the girls had that predator rig, and they had like running water and shit. Like it was,
Oh yeah,
I think we
sweet.
nailed it.
Yeah, I think you guys did as well.
But there's no way to have done that with hotels. Like it's to try and get 8 hotel rooms for a week,
True.
you wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Right. And even the house concept, the concept of a house is much cooler,
Oh, dude, it's like a fucking frat
right?
house. Yeah. We,
But
we
it's
all
pretty
get,
cool how when you guys saw each other for the first time, some of you guys, it was easy, man. You've been on podcasts together,
yeah.
you know, you guys hear each other talk online. It's almost like now I feel like I met you. When I see you, it won't be such a raw deal, you know?
Yeah. I've been very fortunate with the podcast. And I never thought that it would kind of turn into that, but it really has, man, where like you all sit and shoot the shit with somebody for like an hour or two or three sometimes. And then like Hayden is a perfect example of that, Duratech, where he
I know.
we met at the CSR thing. A week later he came on the podcast. It was like 3.5 hours or something
I listened to
crazy.
her. Yeah.
And then like we've been on sites together 2 or 3 times now, where it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
we're
Oh
buddies.
yeah. You showed him how to run the Zuka and stuff, or
See, I
something
did.
along those lines.
Actually, the first time, yes. I was like, I've got a tape day, or sometimes I'll just do like mercenary days where for a day rate. I'll do whatever the fuck you want. Um,
Oh yeah.
so a buddy of mine was like, "Can you just tape this house? Like we're congested." And I was like, "Yeah, man." And I called Hayden. I was like, "You want to watch me tape a house?" And then he came in and we fucking killed it. Um, he hopped up on his stilts, grabbed his flusher and roller, and we just rock and rolled, man. So then,
I would definitely take you up on that.
fuck yeah, dude, anytime. You give me a call
I
anytime. As long
would,
as I've got a little bit of notice, I can make anything work, dude. Yeah.
because you're close to me. You're not far.
Where are you?
Binbrook.
Oh yeah, that's close
Do
enough.
you know where
It's
that is?
it's closer than Hayden.
Oh my God.
He's
I'm
a,
like what, 40 minutes away from you?
yeah, I was gonna say you're probably within an hour for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
good. It's a good deal, man. And like you kind of get to know somebody when you talk to them for an hour. Like, and I
Hmm.
used to do this, like you and I would have like a back and forth before I started the podcast, but I've stopped doing that. Where like all of that cool back and forth at the beginning, everybody wants to hear that,
That's right.
right? Because it's like, I don't know. And it's not like you're kind of being like tricked or attacked or any silly shit on this podcast. Like everybody's listened
Exactly.
to it, everybody knows what's going to happen. It's just to shoot the shit. So it's super fun just jumping into it with people, right?
It is awesome.
Yeah, and then like when people come back a second time, it's like you've known them forever. It's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's a
It'd
good
be much
deal.
easier for sure.
Yeah. Cam and I just get barbecued on here, man. We
I'm
just
not caught up on you, Cass.
we,
I'm
we
not
just
caught
wear
up on your Cass.
we just wear sunglasses and just get barbecued. uh,
So they're gonna come stay for how many days?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they fly out. Or they don't fly out, they leave because they're driving on Saturday. So they'll be here 3 nights.
That's super cool.
Yeah, man. We'll like play video games and eat pizza and shit. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I was talking to Peerless Drywall.
Okay.
You know Peerless?
I'd have
He's
to
been on
look.
Nick's pod. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you look, you'll recognize him. He's gonna come on the Thursday too. I'm gonna come on the Thursday because Barry's just too far for me, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'd rather come on a Friday, end of the weekend, as opposed to, you know, but I'm gonna have to do Thursday because Concord's a bit closer.
Yeah, and Barry really is, man. And typically after these things, we go hang out somewhere. So like if
Hmm.
you come and then you want to hang out a bit and then you got like this big huge drive home, like
Hmm.
it's I'm super happy that we're doing it at both locations because I
Me
think
too.
there's going to be people that come to both, I'm sure. But
Hmm.
it like gives everybody the option because the people from way up north, like Faith and Megs and all the people that are up that way to come all the way down to Vaughan is like a fucking another hour and a bit. So
Right.
yeah.
So where Faith is Canadian? I don't even know that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who the other what the other
I knew
girl's name
Megs
was.
was.
The Mutter girl. Anyways, they all came down to the grand opening in the Barrie CSR. That's where I met them. It was
Hmm.
cool. It's gonna be a big Black Friday this year again. He's bringing it back.
What at CSR?
Yeah. We didn't do it last year. I say we, like it's not has doesn't have anything to do with me. Um, but the first year that I went to this thing was like a big event. Like Aaron was here, Wolfgang was there, Nick, Brad Hanna and Drywall Nation, and like there was just so many people. Phil was there, and it just kind of grew from that. Did you go to the grand opening in Barrie? It was again like a pretty good size, lots of vendors. It was like the whole parking lot. So I'm excited to see what Black Friday is going to be like. I think he wants like lots
So
of demos and
so it's gonna be like an event type of thing.
totally. Yeah, it's a sale kind of like
Hmm.
they've got sales on. But it's like everybody coming together for it is pretty cool, man. You got like people flying in from all over the place. That first year, Ben's flew in from out west for it. I missed
Ben's
him,
drywall.
obviously. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a bu-
Why'd you miss him?
I,
Like, why
I
weren't you there?
I just couldn't fucking make it. Like I wanted to get there like at noon. I wanted to get there in the morning and then something happened and then I had to go to a second site. I didn't get there till like quarter to 3 or quarter to 4 or something, just as it was
Mm.
closing.
Oh, so you still won, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I met everybody at the end and we had like a couple of beers and then I had to go. That was the first night of the podcast. So I came home with that like cool energy and walked right into the first podcast. It was dope.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. Not too shabby. You loving the troll shit, eh?
Yeah.
I'm a big
I
fan.
used to I used to get their stuff free like years before. Like for Christmas, Megan would get me something or her
Yeah.
parents, a hat or something. And when they approached me, I was like, yo, that's unbelievable. It was a great feeling
Yeah.
when they approached me. And everyone's cool, and it's cool to be a part of a fam.
I I liked the look of troll stuff. It had like kind of like a biker feel at the beginning, and then it was like,
Hmm.
no, this is like a real blue collar thing. And I
Hmm.
bought that blue collar as fuck hat. And then once you get into it, and then you get into that group chat and like just the camaraderie in there, the community in that group chat is insane.
Bro,
Um,
it helped me, man, when I opened a new account to have that core. Yeah,
yes.
and it's not like all 110 of them helped me. It was only like a select few. Of course, you guys, the tape inside, but
Oh yeah.
and that helped a lot, man, a lot to get off the ground.
Man, that would have been
So
devastating to grow to fucking 10 grand or whatever it was. And then it fucking,
14K.
was it? Yeah, I would have been devastated. I've had that
It's in the
thought
past
before.
now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and you're rocking and rolling again. Like you're up, you're like
Yeah,
3,000 or something now, aren't you? Like, and that only
yeah.
took fucking couple of months. That's dope.
I started it April 1st again.
So, like,
It's easy to remember.
almost
April
two
for two
months.
months. Yeah.
Wow.
But bro, I'm putting in the work, man. I'm pushing
Yeah.
pace. I'm dropping. I think I missed one day in the last 2 months not dropping a reel. And that's why I don't want to do that all the time. I'm just doing it to get going, to get back to where I was, and then I'm gonna take a breather.
Yeah, and it's important to take that breather when you get to a certain spot for sure. I kind of fell into that this year where it was just I was just so fucking busy and things stopped being
Too
fun.
much.
Yeah. And I did. I just went on a little vacation. I found what I needed, and came back with like new energy. You kind of have those conversations with yourself too of like, okay, that got stressful. What are we not going to do moving forward? What are we going to do moving forward? It's just nice to take a breather sometimes. And it's
Mm.
not like people are going to forget who you are or something,
Yeah,
like
you're right.
everybody knows. I think it's all surreal as it's happening. And I think there's a lot of like mental stuff of like, well, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. But it's like, you don't.
Especially for you, man. You got a lot going on all the time because you're a part of this core group, right? There's a lot going on, man. Flight here and there. You're on the planes more than P. Diddy. It's
Honestly,
crazy.
it's getting so
So
stupid.
that's a different level when we're talking about busy. For me, you can't, people don't notice a 20-second reel, a 30-second reel. Bro, it takes a long time sometimes.
Yeah.
It takes from your day, and then sometimes you end up in a hole that you don't know you're in, and it's screwing with around you, your regular life, and it's not
Yeah.
good, man. And you even see like people around us that have left,
Yeah.
that were very successful and have left. That's a red flag on the play right there.
I mean, there's two ways of looking at it, right? Like, we've said it a bunch of times where it's like a second job. I consider it a hobby. I do what I want to do on it. I don't give a shit how many followers I do. For anybody listening, I very much appreciate every follower I have. And every comment that comes in, I answer, and every DM that comes in, I answer. Like I care about
You do.
the
You're very
followers,
supportive.
but I don't care how many there are. Like I do not care to have 10,000 followers because I couldn't keep up with that. Like I don't know what these people do at 10 and 50 and like 150, dude. Like E-Tile, like those guys are bonkers.
Yeah, rock steady.
Yeah, dude.
Taiko.
He's
Those guys are
so
heavy
cool,
duty.
man.
Those guys are heavy duty.
Yeah, man. Even Slim Brick, man. Like he
Oh
was
man,
going
he's a
through
legend.
his money the other day. I was like
I know.
paying
It's like,
his
man, you really know
mortgage.
how small you are, right? When these people come and enter the chat.
But it's super humble, and it comes from
For
a
sure.
place of like someone asked him a question and he answered it correctly.
Oh,
It
he's
it, it was
awesome.
it wasn't a flex. It was like a
That
if
guy
you
is the salt of the earth.
yeah. I thought he was
Yeah.
some little dude just because his frame, like the way that his frame is. And then like a week later, he's like 6'7" or something. He's
Wow.
a monster. And he goes to the gym and stuff, but like usually that
Yeah.
like kind of build, I think of it as like a smaller person's build, but he's not. He's just like
Yeah.
proportionately bigger. That's so crazy. Big monkey
Yeah.
arms.
He was very supportive too. Like when I needed him,
Yeah.
he's super cool.
Yeah. I mean, uh when that influx of like so many people came into the group chat and then like Muscletron had to fucking be like, listen, that's not what this is, bro, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, Slim stepped right up. He's like, yep, we're the OGs and we'll fucking make sure that it doesn't happen again. It never happened again. Like
Yeah.
it's been such a great place. Yeah, dude. Did you do your thing yet for this month? Your
What
video?
thing?
It's like
No, no, the intrusive one.
yeah.
Intrusive thoughts. I have one idea, but I haven't done it. Why? You've done one?
I'm doing it tomorrow. It's so there's a movie with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, and he's like, "Don't do that." And he's like, "What? What am I doing?" He's like, "I know what you're doing. Don't do that." Right? And I'm gonna fucking go like this at the fresco wall, like when it's wet, and then at the end of it, I'm gonna
That's a
go.
great idea.
I'm just gonna
With it in the
mush.
background saying that,
I'm gonna mush it in. Like
that's
I'm
a
gonna
great idea.
just because when it's wet mud, people want to touch that shit. It's every
Yeah.
fucking site that you're on with people that aren't finishers. Actually, if you
And you
talk,
already found the audio?
yes, it took forever too. Like
Sweet.
I don't know how to search audio clips. I know how to search music. It took me forever. I used hashtags and I found it, but it took me a while,
Nice.
dude. Yeah. Yeah, man. I like those little video things.
But the competition thing,
Yeah, man.
I
Just
love it. I
keeps
love
it
it.
fun. I'm never gonna win
Yeah.
one, but I like it.
Who cares? I
Yeah.
like participating. That's why this one's a tough one for me, man. I don't know what to do. Do you think it has to be work related?
I don't think it does. I think if you're wearing your fucking troll gear, who cares,
Yeah.
man?
Yeah.
The dude with the steamroller and he's fucking like gonna
Did I
run.
see that? I didn't see that.
There's so many good ones. I think
Uh,
Tron's putting them out on Sunday, and we're gonna start
the
doing the
weekend, yeah.
yeah.
Bricky Ben, I think his name is, the guy that
Yeah.
sports us all the time. His was a good one too when they walked through the caution tape.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh,
Yeah,
did you
see,
check out his? He already
I,
posted it.
I've tried not to be watching the ones that come in because I want to watch them for the first time in the competition.
That's a
Like
great idea.
it's a
You know
fun
what? I
like
should
sit
try that.
down little event. Um, yeah, man, I had been on here like a couple of months ago, like maybe
What,
four.
here?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah,
I'll listen to
man.
that for sure.
And he was like I'd love to be part of troll and like you could tell on the podcast it was a goal of his and like here he is. He's a good guy, man. I really like
Yo,
him
he's nobody out there supports me as much as that guy. And I know
for
it's not
sure.
just me, all of us.
Yeah,
You'll see him in all of the Troll Co's comment section.
yeah, yeah.
Just a good
So,
guy like that.
and a fucking caulking gun guy. Like he's a mason, but he's found like his
Yeah.
like niche of what
Niche.
pays good, what are you really good at. We talk about that on the podcast where I was like um his job, what he's doing, you can't fuck that up. Like that's what finishes
Everybody sees that.
and functionally too. Like that's a big
Yeah, that's
sealing
true.
sealing that kind of shit. Like it has to be done and it has to be replaced properly. And it's really cool that he found that niche and the amount of different shit in that troll group is wild. Like
right?
Highway Hopper and I had lunch with her husband when I
She's
was in the
cool.
States. It was
She's
cool.
super cool.
Yeah, man. But like truck driver, when the fuck would I have ever talked to a truck driver? Never.
Bro, even like um that girl that got mentioned on Joe Rogan, like with the steel and stuff and welding, like I would never talk to these people. It's crazy.
And
And you know what? It really humbled me when I saw everybody
yeah.
and their trades and stuff. It really humbles a person, man.
And they're all super cool. Like
Yeah,
I don't think there's anybody in there with their head up their ass. And I
no.
um one of the first conversations I had with Muscletron was like, I don't give a fuck how many followers you have. I don't care what your deal is. Like if you're a good person and you got cool content, you're it. Like full stop. And he's like, I don't care if somebody has 1 million followers. If they're a dickhead, I'm not letting them in. Like it's just
And you can tell because he doesn't just have people with 100,000 followers. He has
no,
people with 300 followers.
yeah,
And you know what? That guy is super cool, man.
yeah,
Especially how, like, when I told him my issue and how I have to start a new account, he's like, brother, don't sweat it. Just let me know, give me your new handle, and we'll kick you off in the group chat and then I'll add
nice,
you. Like, he just made me feel so comfortable because I was panicking. Like, think about what you're saying. You're like, oh, I would have been devastated. I
yeah,
was in there devastated. Too much. I had like 200 reels. That's 200 hours of my life that got taken away, that I took away
yeah.
from my family and stuff and from work to do, and it's poof, gone. So to talk to him, I messaged him and boom, reply right away. Told me right away, don't worry about you. I got you.
Mhm.
And imagine when you're devastated and like feel like it's crumbling, and someone like that with a big stature says that to you, you feel much better. So I
He
felt so much better.
he always ends his stories and that kind of stuff with like, I'm always here for you anytime or whatever. And he
He's
means that
great,
shit.
man.
He means that
He's
shit.
great. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does mean it. I know firsthand he does mean it.
Um, it was super dope when they sent that little care package out to Surrey. Everybody got a hat and a shirt. Everybody.
So is that what happened?
Yeah, dude. The girls could
That's
walk up with
super
this
cool.
huge fucking box. And I was like, cool, man. And I looked in there and I was like, anyways, like I'm not, that's just not gonna fit me. But they did. They got all of our sizes and stuff. Like it was dope. It was super
That's
dope.
amazing. I didn't, and you know what? I was wondering how everybody had it. Like you and the girls, sure, but everyone had it. I was
Yeah.
like, how?
That
That
was
makes
fun
sense.
too. We're working around Cam's like doing this bead work, but he's got his troll shirt on that's got a bunch of stuff on the back. And I like just stopped, pulled my phone out, like took like a couple videos and like
What he just posted yesterday or today?
maybe if he's
Yeah, I
installing
think he
bead.
posted it. Yeah, he's
I
installing a discontinued bead.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's his own too, where he was like running the boxes on it and that. But that's always cool to have when there's other creators around. Where like if somebody's doing something cool, you fucking pull your phone out and then send them the video. Like you don't need any fucking props for it, but it's like just
That's
dope
how
to
you get
catch.
tons of, yeah, that's how you get tons of footage too, right?
Yeah. Um, Having Caden and Adriana from trimtex and Brandon from SurePro on site while we were hustling around and they're all filming stuff was really cool. Like
Nice.
having videographers. I'd never had that before.
It's pretty cool of Aaron to make this happen, eh? Like this is unheard of.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, if you think about it, like Aaron's what started, well, Columbia, I should say, Aaron and Elliot, are what started the ambassador programs and stuff. Like they've always been on that cusp of like what the pinnacle is. And now everybody else is kind of catching up to where they were, and they're now that it's a whole new fucking ball game where now you're doing big sites. It's tons of marketing opportunities. Like it's good connections too, right? Like the reel that I shared yesterday was just like all the pictures that I had. And
Mhm.
like I was like, I'm never gonna forget this site. And Danny was like, I'm never gonna forget. Like, you know what I mean? Like you know somebody for life now. You get along for fucking a week and a half. You stay in touch. Like It's cool stuff, man. When I think of the
Super cool.
community, I think of CSR and I think of Columbia. At least that's us, right? Like that's my
Yeah,
little community. I love it.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
But he also fucking threw a ton of money into that to
Of
make it
course.
work, right? Like you have to. But it was a good deal, man. And like hopefully quarterly. So like every 3 months there's gonna be another one.
That'd be cool. Was it close to him? Because he's from
Oh
BC,
yeah.
right?
It was right
So
around
would
the
the
corner.
house from his where he
Uh
stays?
from Columbia.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. It was like the perfect site.
wow. Seems
Yeah.
like it was out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, so I guess Surrey is like a little city, and then you just head a little north or south, I guess. South Surrey. Um for how much that looks like it's in the middle of the country, it there you could see the next house next to it. It's just the
Oh
property's
yeah.
laid out correctly. Yeah, it was
Oh yeah.
cool, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. So what are you working on now? Like your detail work, is that kind of every site?
So actually, I when I was younger, like back in 2018, 17, man, I had the funkiest, grooviest, out of this world, like fancy stuff. And as soon as the government brought in the 15% tax to foreign buyers, where they have to piece out, so they had to slow the market down because everybody was coming, buying, tearing down, building, selling.
Right,
So they put this 15% tax on foreign buyers. And since then, a lot of people calmed down with the fancy stuff. I
right.
still get it, but not as much as before. Like right now, I have a house on the go. I think it's about 47,000 square feet of board.
That's dope.
I'm not I'm not there right now. I finished the top floor and it's crazy how big this house is. The basement has a turntable in the garage basement so they can like bring their car in and it turns it for them and then they can park over here. Then another car comes in, turns it, goes over here because it's tight, right? It's underground parking in a house.
This
This
fucking
house,
Tony Stark's house.
bro, this house is three houses down from Mitch Marner's house.
Okay. Is that a sports
We
guy?
see his we see his wife every day. No, it's a maple leaf.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
We see his wife every day walking the dog. That's how bougie the place is. It's crazy. That's the place where everybody's like, "Why are you posting so many vent videos?" I'm like, well, just this house has over 100
Yeah.
of those invisible vents.
And they're not easy, man. Invis events are different than RE events. Uh like are those are invis events, right?
The ones I'm doing in this big house, they're not. They're by this company called Deus.
Okay, so the little fl
They're nowhere on Instagram.
the little flanges off the side, are they steel? Like a metal?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So the invis event, that's a drywall. Like it's the same as what the vent is. And it's really difficult. Like the
So those are the permanent
yeah,
ones.
the
You're talking
tape
about the
ins.
permanent ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, but they're permanent. Like you can't take the face off.
right.
Those are not drywall, but it's pretty much.
Yeah, it's like
It's almost
board.
like MDF is. Yeah, like
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, it's super like it's super dense. But somebody was telling me that there's pretty brittle too. Like you really need to know what you're doing to install those because there's like no variance. Like there's no extra anything. It's got to be perfect.
It definitely has to be level.
Yep.
And you have to sometimes shimmy it out or in because
Yeah.
it has to sit flush, right? Sometimes you put it on, it'll be sitting like this. You won't notice and you can tape it in. But if you look at the side of the wall,
Yeah.
you see it hump out. So it's not easy. It's not just put on and go.
So um we're looking at vents for linears, right? And I was like, yeah, we could probably get some tape in ones. I'm talking to the builder for out west. And we were going to have 60, 30, 30 invis events. And Brad from CSR pulled me off to the side and he was like, I need you to understand, you've not quoted this enough. And I was like, well, but you don't know what I've quoted. And he's like, you've not quoted this enough. And each one is probably going to take you realistically X amount of hours, just to let you know. And it was 60 hours extra.
Yeah,
So
it's not just a
we were so lucky that we couldn't get the custom ones because we would have been fucked. I would have been there for 2 more weeks doing fucking invis events. I would have
I'm
thrown up.
surprised a house like that doesn't have those kind of registers, to be honest. Everyone's doing them now, especially in those kind of houses.
They've got those linears, like the where it's like long and skinny, and there was like where it comes down, it's been bent, like folded and folded back onto itself to get the vent that comes to it. So if it
Okay.
wasn't for that little tab, we would have been doing them, and it would have been a fucking nightmare.
And that
Yeah,
definitely takes time, man, because you got to mesh them all
yeah,
or fiber fuse them. Some people don't, but I'd recommend. I
yeah.
would.
I always do.
And I usually do all of those first coat with 90, to believe it or not.
Yep.
Holds them nice and stiff, and then I do 2 coats of mud. But that all takes time, and then when you go sand them out, you got to make sure you clean all the edges. It's not as simple as it looks.
Well, and I mean, if anybody's asking you why you're posting so many vents, it's like because I'm in a huge house that has so many
I
vents.
did,
Like,
I did, I
yeah,
did,
okay, good, man.
I
Because
did. They
it's
didn't,
like,
they didn't, they didn't come from a bad place,
mm, okay,
you know.
good.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't come from a bad place. I told them too. I was like, "Oh, I have over 100 here.
It's
Get used to it."
nuts. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you can continue taking content and even put it on the back burner. Like those types of houses where it's like they've got a lot of something, you just take a bunch of content, and then whenever you want. Like I've got tons of trimtex content because it's
Yeah,
like when you're doing it, like just keep it. When you're having a
keep
fucking
it. And
slow week or you're bored, you make a cool reel. Yeah, dude.
or if I've done a lot of bead videos, it's cool to have something else I can throw in there instead of having beads all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, home and refreshment improvements. It's a
Oh yeah.
handle on Instagram.
Yeah,
They're
they do
super
like
cool Canadian guys.
marketing stuff, right? A lot of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
yeah, yeah.
cool, and it's like very professional. One time he approached me about Invisivent, and he's like, "Any of these houses would you put up Invisivents?" I'm like, "I would, but usually when I come in, they're already installed. Most of the time, they're already installed."
That's dope.
And yeah, buy Invisivent or whoever works for whoever sells them, I think.
Yeah.
And I said, but if I ever come across a builder that I'm close with, I'll mention it to them. And sure enough, a year later, I was working for a builder and I heard him in the background saying, I want to do those, invisible vents. I'm like, oh my God, hold on.
Yeah, I got to
So
hook up.
I got a hold of them and they gave him a good deal.
Dope.
And that's when I did a bunch of content on it. And here we are.
Yeah, and I mean, you make it look so easy too. Like that's the cool part. It's like when you just see and then everything's done and it looks perfect, right? I love the fact that like somebody else is gonna be like, yeah, you just fucking go like this, and then they'll
And I
try
still
it
get
and
bad
go, oh
comments.
shit.
I still get bad comments. And again, it's anyone can do it. Any taper can do it. It just comes with experience, right?
Yeah.
I've done them before they used to be cool. I used to have them,
Hmm.
so it just comes easy. And for the last like 17 years, this is actually the longest that I've been working solo in the last 17 years. I've always had a guy or two.
Yeah.
And most of the people that work for me, I do all the travel work. So
Yes.
I'm not like an average taper where I've been taping for X amount of years and I've been running all those tools for X amount of years. Those X amount of years, most of them I've been strictly trowel and hawk.
Right.
That's why it's so natural and it comes off easy from me because I've, anybody who works for me, they lay the tape, they run the boxes. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
They run the roller, but at the end, I would be installing bead when they're doing that and coating it and skimming it. So
It's perfect.
that's why my shoulders are shot.
Yeah. Um, That's why Steve and I work so well together, because he's just so good with the hawk and trowel and like doing all the detail stuff, and I can run around with the tools. And I even pulled him aside the one day and I was just like, okay, but I'm sorry I'm not doing a bunch of troweling and stuff with you or whatever. And he's like, it is great to have someone on site that can just run the fucking tools and I can do
Take care of everything
all the
else.
rest of it. Yeah. And
I'm just gonna take a guess. Steve is Whitby.
yes. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a fucking
He'll be
G.
there on Thursday. He
Yeah,
told me he'll
dude.
be there on Thursday.
I know. I'm like calling everybody, making sure.
Yeah, he's the breath of fresh air on there.
Ah, that fucking video that and then you commented, you're like, do you mean me, you fuck?
Which
It's
one?
like,
Oh, when real time would be.
so we had that little group chat going, and they're like talking about knives and hawks and all this other kind of shit, and he just sends that video as like a fuck around video. And when I watched it, I'm like, there's no way I'm not sharing this. So I was like, you have till the end of
Great
tonight to
video.
share that, or I'm doing it. And I was just like, it's insane. He doesn't drop anything. It's just like, and he's not filling it. It's not second coat. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you see a lot of butt joints that are like second coat, and which again takes finesse. But like to fill it like that and bang it out, it's like, holy fuck, man. I think when you get into the groove of
he's
that,
good too.
especially a guy like you, there's no cameras around. And it's like, damn it. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think
Did
that's
you take
cool.
that video of him?
No, he did. He fucking I think he put it on like a baker scaffold or something. Like it was like the most low budget
Oh yeah.
bullshit video. He was just being a smartass. Um no, but we all had a like not like a laugh at that, but it was just like, no, not at all, man. Like we all do it. You
A
have to
good
do it.
chuckle.
Like even
Yeah.
when I talked to Teak about it, it was the same thing. Like when she's loading from her hawk, she cuts all
Yeah, you
that
don't see
out
her
because
loading.
nobody
Yeah.
wants to fucking see it, right? Like it's
Yeah.
when you, especially with the TikTok crowd where it's got to constantly be changing, it's yeah, man, it's dope.
I like Teak a lot.
I think she's great, man. She's a really good finisher
Super
too.
cool. Yeah.
She's a really good finisher. um
Everyone there, like even Woodby Drywall's good with the bazooka too, eh?
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
He's really good.
um yeah, I mean, running the bazooka fast is impressive, but running the bazooka fast and your tapes are landing everywhere that they're supposed to be takes a lot of skill, man.
I know, bro. Why do you think I don't run a bazooka?
So what do you
I just
do? How are you taping houses?
super taper,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
shitbox. Yeah.
yeah, and just run with
That's
it.
how I was taught. I remember when I was young and I lived in Calgary when I went when it was booming. I was someone lent me theirs for a week, but that's the thing. I tried to teach myself on it.
Right.
So right away I was making a mess. I was scared I would do something to his bazooka. I remember it was a blue one, so it must have been a tape pro.
Yeah. Okay.
And it I got like I got over it. Like I was like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
want to do this. It's too much. How am I supposed to make money like this? But all these people that are learning and catching on right now is because they have a pro that's showing them, don't
Yeah.
do this, don't do that, hold it like this, hold it like that. I taught myself, so right away I was turned off
Yeah.
instantly.
So I did the same thing where I got it and just started running it. And it's like slow and clunky and you jam the fucking thing and like, but it's just that the learning curve of it all. But because of the community, I was able to reach out to people and be like, hey man, what am I fucking doing wrong here? And just a couple of little things. Um, yeah, man, taper's good. But I worked with a guy named Bill who was like 70, and he would run the shit box, and he was faster doing that than I was with the taper because he would
Yeah.
slap it up, wipe it, slap it up, wipe
Oh
it,
yeah.
and just it was done. Everything was done. He let me run the corners with the bazooka because you really can't beat that. Like with a
So hard. That's the hardest
yeah,
part.
yeah, top corners are for sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But so when I'm running the auto taper, if I'm going really fast, I just understand that it's going to land where it's going to land, and I'll come back and do short tapes. But I just
Fair
want to
enough.
get the fucking house done and then come back and do all your short tapes. It takes a long time, but it's just time on the taper. It's getting much better. But there's always fucking short tapes, man. Or you're taking your time, like very seriously taking your
Yeah,
time.
but
Sometimes you
that's
can't.
hard too, man. When you're trying to push pace, it's hard. And then I
Yes.
get frustrated that I'll end up with the super taper out.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
like what's his name? Aaron, I remember last year or 2 years ago went over and showed Big Dog how to run
yeah,
one.
dude,
And
last
look,
year.
Big Dog's killing it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. And I mean, I kind of felt like I knew what was going on with the taper. And then like I just went and helped Brad tape a little project out. And when you see a guy like that or a guy like Danny or Cam running it, it's like, oh, like I'm a fucking infant with this thing. Because that
Oh,
if
Danny.
man, Danny's really fast. With Brad, it's like an extension of him. Like he's using that creaser wheel to like wipe tapes. So like it's just he gets the whole
Oh yeah.
thing, right? Like it's like
Which one's
little
Brad again?
Brad Hanna.
Oh,
Um,
Hannah.
yeah, it's Black Hearts was the handle back in the day. But he's like, if you're looking at like who runs the tools 1,000%, there's like a handful of names, and he's one of them. Like one like
Right.
real OG guy. Um, but
But
just
even
little
like when Danny runs 12 feet high with
yeah, what
that
the
big
fuck?
bazooka, it's bigger than him, man, and he's running the thing. I'm like, damn,
They handed him that 6 foot and he just took it and ran off with it like a kid
bro.
and was killing it, man. But I guess like when you're used to having to be on stilts while you're running the taper, like you get another 2 feet out of that 6 foot, like I think maybe it's
It's a
one
big deal.
foot, but it is a big deal, right? Because when you're trying to like do it way up here and now you can be down here again, it's just like running it. It's a
It's a
little
game
top,
changer, yeah.
it's top heavy, but whatever.
Where's Danny live?
Washington.
Oh, he's American.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a couple hours from Surrey. He drove. He just fucking showed
Did
up.
he?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It's dope. We're uh we're talking about maybe trying to get onto a site again.
That'd be
He's a
sweet.
he's a lot of fun, dude.
In BC,
Probably out his way. If it works out, it'll be out his way.
like Danny's way.
Yeah. Gonna be a couple cool people on that one. We'll talk about it when I know more about it. But we just talked about it like an hour ago. Um, because man, you come home from something like that and now you're working by yourself again. You're like, the fuck am I
You're like,
working by
what?
myself for? This sucks. It doesn't. Like you
But
still kick ass, but it's
it
not
takes a
this.
lot to do something like that, right? Like, that's a lot, man.
It
It's not
it
like
won't.
people just show up and everything's ready.
So I had been talking to the builder and the designer and all the back end stuff since fucking December on that site. Like I
Wow.
I printed out a set of plans. We were doing weekly meetings and shit. Like there's a lot of bullshit that goes along with that. But
So is the builder familiar with Aaron or something? Like
yeah,
how's
so Hish works for Aaron and it's Hish's parents' house. So they've been trying to build this thing since like 2018 or something like that. And because they didn't go with a builder, they were just going to build it themselves. Like they've got a house that they already have. So it's not like a big time crunch.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess they were just struggling getting certain things done. So Hish went out and got his builder's license. So he went and did whatever education that's behind that and just took over the site. And then it started moving along.
Wow.
So when it came to there's a huge house, who's going to finish it? Like when Cam and Nick and I went out last June or something like that, and we did some fresco work.
Mhm. Is that
Aaron,
when you guys were fishing for boxes and stuff?
yes, it's the exact same
Yeah.
time. Aaron
Mhm.
pointed out the window and was like, "Yep, right there is going to be Hish's parents' place." And we were like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he's like, "Wouldn't it be cool if we finished that?" And like Cam and I looked at each other like, well, "Yeah, That would be cool. And then it never got brought up again. So then after Illinois, when we came home, like we had all gotten together to do it. Aaron called like the next day and was like, "So you want to tape Hish's house?" Yeah, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Um, but I think with an experienced builder, it wouldn't be as much work. You would just show up and do your job. Like everything would be handled and everything would be on time and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. Like we got pushed
Hmm.
3 times, right?
Yeah, you
Um,
guys were supposed to do it a while ago.
yeah, January was the first time we were talking. It's gonna be
Wow.
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Um, that's pretty dope, man. It's cool to find people that are super comfortable with trim techs, like all of the facets of it.
Like working with it.
Yeah, like the stuff that you've done there. Like it,
Oh,
like to do that and like implement it in your house and it looks perfect. Like it, you it's cool. A lot of people
like
don't
I've
even know
done,
it's a thing.
I know. And you know what, Sean? I've done houses where 90% of the walls are like this, just not
Really?
with the rectangle like this. It would have a different design that would be the whole room so it doesn't look silly.
Yeah.
And like they'll incorporate furniture to it, like the bed, and then it will have that paneling around the bed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
done
yeah.
houses where it had tons, like back pre-pandemic. It was literally all the time. I lived on Lakeshore between Burlington and Oakville,
Nice.
and everyone was just doing fancy, fancy stuff. And it feels like it's disappeared, man, compared to what it was before.
Yeah. I would imagine that there are builders that lost their ass during COVID.
Hmm.
Where it just like even like think if you were building 4 houses at a time because you've kind of grown yourself to be that big, like, and you could manage it, and then all of a sudden you can't do shit anymore, but like you're still paying your monthlies, right? Like that overhead doesn't go away. And then I
Yeah,
bet I bet you people lost their ass. And now you've got a couple of builders that absorb that work, but they already have their own guys. So like you'll never see that work because it's
right.
it's it's handled, right? Or maybe you will. Like that's the other thing with all these old timers, like they've earned their time, man. Like you don't got to work till you're 100. And at some point they'll all retire and there'll be more cool stuff like that. It's I don't know. I think the like being in touch with people, like doing what we're doing right now, right? Like the more stuff you do like that, events, like Instagram is an excellent resume.
It's a whole different world, man. And that's why, like you were saying, Colombia was the first to have ambassadors and stuff. Now I bet you all these companies, it's part of their marketing budget is social media, right?
Yeah, man.
So they'd rather, because it's the best way when you get Sean to wear a shirt that says blah 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 on it and thousands of people see it. That's better than going to hand out flyers or,
Yeah.
you know.
Thousands is very kind, but
Well, you know
yeah,
what I mean.
I
You'd be
know.
surprised.
Yeah, I
There's
guess. Yeah.
thousands of people that saw your stuff. You'd be surprised. And
Yeah, I
your
guess,
stories, you
eh?
do more stories than anything. Tons of people. Listen, you won't meet anybody on here that doesn't know good morning.
Yeah. So
So that shows you.
we were talking out west about doing branded stuff. And we were like, wouldn't it be cool to like make a line of clothes where like all of us made our own, but it didn't have our company name on it? And I'm like, mine would just say good morning.
My word.
Right? Fuck, fuck yeah.
For sure. And everybody would know.
Yeah. It's it's kind of cool. When I went to that, when I met Hayden at that CSR thing, I don't remember who said it, but it was just like, good morning. And I was like, holy fuck, somebody watches my stupid Instagram
Oh,
page.
buddy. Even when Nathan,
Yeah, 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 Nate.
when he's like impersonating you and he says good morning, it's gold.
So Leah and Brad were got super tight when they were doing the Columbia stuff way back in the day. Like when it was Lydia and Drywall Nation, and like there was only like 6 or 8 of them. And
Right.
that's when I was following Brad. Like he's been a buddy of mine for a long time. But I was like a number one fan kind of thing. I thought the whole thing was the coolest fucking thing ever. And so she goes out for Halloween and like mascaras her face to look like a beard and wears clothes like him and like impersonates him as her Halloween costume. And everybody loved it. So I sat down with him like the week after at Beer Town here, and I was like, dude, you're fucking famous. Like somebody was you for Halloween. So then when Nate did that for me, I was like, this is not the same, but I love it. He does it so good, man. And then when his wife plays him, and
I know.
oh
It's good
man,
stuff.
they're so funny.
Does Brad have a Instagram handle?
Yeah, but it's a private account. So
Oh,
Brad was
doesn't
one of
Brad Hanna
those.
like, does it have the cross on the thing?
Yes, yeah, with the heart.
Oh, we follow each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck yeah, man. And,
Okay.
and I mean, he doesn't post all the time because like he did
Yeah.
all that, man. He like earned his keep for
So he's been
all of
around,
that.
hey, for a long time.
Yeah, I think like 7 years or something. At one point in time, he
Wow.
was like the voice of running boxes. Like
Oh yeah.
if you were like, and he still kind of is. He's a North Star guy now. Like he level fives with a box. It's like whenever you think that you've kind of caught up, you talk to him and he's just like in another universe. You're like, okay, I'll keep trying. Um,
Honestly, I told Nick on his pod, this what we're talking about, this community and everything, it revamped my like for my trade again, bro. I was
yes.
over it. I actually went to school and got my estimating certificate. And actually, at some points, I wanted right out of construction. I just wanted to
Really?
do something else. I'm still here because it's hard to transition and take a pay cut. I got
Yeah.
wife and kids, and you can't just take a pay cut.
So
So,
I took a pay cut to do this.
oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's tough.
The position that I left was like 105K or something. But I fucking hated it.
Oh wait, yeah,
I
you were a
hated it.
super or project managers, right? Yeah, yeah, I remember from your other pods.
Yeah, man. But that happiness that you gain from that. So like you were right to jump ship, man, if you didn't feel it anymore. Cause it like that like playground becomes a prison so quickly.
Hmm.
You know, but I like that, man, especially with the community, like what you're saying. Like
It
I
honestly, it did a whole 360, Sean, like
yeah,
a
dude.
total 360. And my wife can tell. My brother lives out west. He lives in Calgary. When he talks to me, he can tell that it's different. Sometimes me and him will go meet in Mexico,
Nice.
and he and we'd like open up. We're only a year and 2 months apart, so we're really close.
Nice.
And I'd open up to him, and he knew I wanted out of the trade. I was done with it, bro.
Yeah.
And because of social media and everyone, it literally revamped everything. And now with Trollco coming in,
Yeah.
and it's not like Trollco is giving me the whole store for free. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, but
just to
it's a
be a part of
community.
that and feel so good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Feels so good.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to do with the Trollco thing because I understand the marketing stuff with guys like Slim and like because they're like the reach that you'll get from that makes so much sense. And when they asked me, I was like I'm probably not going to end up selling Trollco stuff for them. Like that's kind of a bum deal
How do
for
you
them.
know, man? No,
But
man.
I
You're
don't.
always selling yourself short.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
selling yourself short. You never know, man. I've already had two people buy that I met them through comment sections and
Nice.
Instagram. Like, it's not like we talk and DM. Don't sell yourself short, bro. Believe me.
Yeah,
And guys like you're a blue collar, man. So what they want is they want you. Look at Bricky Ben. He doesn't have a big account, but he's
yeah,
blue collar, right?
100%.
And they want blue collars. That's why I panicked when I lost my 14K account. But when I messaged Tron, bro, that guy's like, I don't give a damn. Like, he's
Yeah,
like, oh, that means nothing to me. Show me your new handle. I'll take care of you. That shows blue collar and that shows down to earth behavior, which
yeah,
is huge.
yeah. Good call.
Bro, a lot of people look up to you, eh? Don't
It's
sell
really
yourself short. You're
it,
humble. That's what you are.
yeah, it's really weird sometimes. Um, I had like a friend that I knew kind of like my first year in business and like we got and then we kind of like split off or whatever. And we had a talk like recently and it was like shit's super stressful and it's not working for me and everything must be so easy for you. And like it was like I got this tone of exactly what you were saying, where it was like I've there was like this thought in his head that it was just like I'm just so fucking good at it and it's all easy. And we got to have this super long conversation about like it is not easy. It sucks for
Yeah.
everybody, man. Like everybody goes through
Right.
it, but you got to fucking trudge on, right? And I like having conversations like that. It's very weird a little bit, but it's good to give people advice, man, and tell them like fucking life sucks sometimes, but it doesn't suck all the time.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
You make out of it what you want, right? Like if it sucks, you could make it suck.
Yeah.
It's just, how you're supposed to go about it. Go to work miserable every day because you hate sanding and getting dirty, or just deal with it because that's what you do and try to
Yes.
work with it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need, like for me, I was literally, I wanted out, Sean. I was
Yeah.
done. I was like, this is too much. And people are like, oh, you're cool. You got employees. Employees suck, bro. This is the longest. This is the longest I've went in 17 years without an employee. And I'm telling you, I could have had someone yesterday.
Yeah.
It's so slow right now that I can have someone like this. Union guys are calling contractors that I get work from because they have no work.
Yeah.
It's slowed down the last like 6 months. A lot of people are out of work, and if you didn't make your name or are reliable in the times when it was all busy, you're not working right now. So I could have had someone easily. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Sean, I've made a pact with myself. 8 months to a year, I'm gonna go solo.
Yeah. Good.
I know it sucks getting my own pails of water now, and doing the grunt work and the
Hmm.
scaffold work and stuff. But who cares? It keeps me in shape.
Yeah, and it keeps you sharp. Like, and then when you do get a helper again, you'll be fucking flying.
And mentally, man, it's just so nice not to have to worry about another guy. And because, right, I'm self-employed, I got to pay these guys,
Yeah.
to make sure these guys are insured and everything. And I have to worry about when I'm not on site if they're doing anything. And it forces me to work more and stay on site because I
Yeah.
have to keep my eye on them, right? Or whoever it is, or one. It's kind of nice. No headaches. I don't have to deal with their personal stuff. So I'm going to go 8 months to a year solo.
Good for you, man.
Give it a go. I got a laborer. It's a tripod from Amazon.
Yeah. It's like when I first got that little tripod thing that I have, I was like I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend that's been holding my phone, right? And then I turned it around. I was like, she's real skinny, but she's bright, right? Because it's got the ring light on it. But I was trying to like joke that I like had a girlfriend nobody knew about or whatever. But it was like it was a good laugh, right?
She's
Um,
loyal, man. She's
she's
loyal.
loyal, yeah, for
You tell her to
sure.
stay, you come back, she's still there.
I had that ring light for fucking 10 minutes before I broke it. So now it's like
Oh no.
oh yeah, it's like it's exactly me, dude. It's covered in like tuck tape with like screws and shit and like it's very me. Crazy.
So
So
hey,
do you
go ahead, you go.
no, no, you go.
I was gonna ask you about the hard hat watches.
Yeah, dude. Pretty
So
dope.
are you wearing it right now?
It's charging.
You wear it every day for work?
Oh yeah.
Because when we're on the Troco chat, someone said something and I didn't like it. It was kind of knocking it.
Mm.
I was like, wait, what am I getting?
So
But you always big it up.
I big it up because I can't wear a watch. If I wear a watch, the thing's fucking broken. I I just don't care about stuff. Like not a watch anyways. Like that's not what I'm worried about when I'm at work. I'm worried about focusing on work and whatever. So I just gave up on having a watch. I looked at Apple watches and they're expensive. And I was like, I'm gonna break this thing. I'm not doing it. I would love to have one. The biggest thing was the sleep. I could take my blood pressure. Like there's a bunch of stuff that like you should be doing when you get to be a little bit older, like monitoring your sleep and like your heart rate and like it does blood oxygen levels and like it's probably not super accurate, but it's at least a watch that I can wear. Um Yeah, man, I've left that thing in like a shitty bucket of water for 20 minutes, like just to see if I could break it. I like smashed it with a hammer. I didn't like kind of hit it. I fucking smashed it. And
And
then I
nothing.
and then the screen, it had a bunch of shit all over it. I thought I killed the screen and I was like, fuck, I just broke my watch. But it was all the dust and shit from the hammer. So
Oh my God.
I wiped it off and I was like, get out of here.
Oh
Um,
my God.
yeah, so they're dope if you don't wear a watch or if you want a watch that like will like let's say if I get an Instagram you know notification, I can look at my watch, see who it is, and it doesn't like read it to me or I can't reply with it, but I can at least see who's calling, see who's texting. It keeps my hand out of my pocket.
This is
um
my big thing. This is my big thing. Why I wear an iWatch at all.
yes.
So I never got one because our job is filthy,
Hmm.
and I'm not gonna go spend six, seven, $800 on even a used one to destroy it. I'll be like this at work and not putting my hand in the pail.
Exactly.
But so I got my wife a new one and I took her old one. Like the one I have at work is an old one that I don't care about, that nobody
Yeah.
cares about, right? So I'm not working free with it. The thing I get it for is our jobs, our hands are always messy.
Yeah.
So as soon as I get a notification, i.e., what you just said, Instagram, really phone calls, because my phone's going off a lot during the
Hmm.
day. And sometimes I don't need to answer that phone call right away. And if my hands are dirty, I just go bang, no problem. But if I
Yeah.
need to answer it, bang, I get to it.
Yeah.
So that's really what I wanted. So that watch I can get phone calls too.
Yep. Yeah, and I think you
Oh,
can actually even talk into it.
oh yeah,
Um, but I've got it connected. I've always got a headset in. Like I've got little Samsung earbuds, and they're dope. And like I always have one in, and I can do if someone calls me, I just tap it, like, and then I'll swap them out like left to right if it starts to die. Like it,
right.
I'm not a big fan of having no hearing, like having both in all the time, because it's like you just never know. Uh,
Yeah,
but I always have one headphone in, always. Um,
right.
and Hard Hat is sending me, it's on the way right now. It's called the Foreman watch, which is like a new upgraded one, and it's a circle. It's like a bigger circle.
Oh yeah.
So my guess is they came up with a good idea. They made the prototype watch, which is like the one everybody has, and then I think they've made a bag of money off of that, and now they've started upgrading.
So I'm
Um,
gonna get the one that you originally got.
I have no idea. It's you'll have to see when you get it. Because there's the Foreman, there's a Sport, and then there's the original. And the
So what'd
Foreman
you get?
and I have an original one, and I had them send me the Foreman. I'm doing a Father's Day sale thing for them. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're asking me to do,
yeah, dope, man.
to talk about the Father's Day. But they want me to talk, and I'm not Brawley's dad's construction, bro. I don't talk.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna do just fine.
So
Yeah, that video I sent them, they were just like, "Oh, we really like this. Thank you so much. You must have done so much editing." I one-shotted that. I set up my fucking tripod and was
what
like,
the one that you
"Ah,
did with the Columbia thing on it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah."
I saw that. That was a killer video.
But that was the first take. Like a lot of my videos are
Yeah,
just
but
like that.
you're this is your niche, brother.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm telling you, this is your niche. You're on the story every day, telling everybody, talking face to face. Where like Pronto, I love Pronto.
Yep,
Um, and so, what's it to you to look at the camera again and talk about a watch? It's the same thing.
totally.
It's your niche, bro. That's what you do.
Yeah, Tom's a good guy, man. He runs that business, that's for sure.
Pronto?
Yeah, when we were in
Yeah,
Illinois, we were out
killer.
in up in this like bedroom, and it was overlooking the water. And I fucking zoomed in over onto the bank of the thing. I'm like, I think I can see Pronto fishing. Like it was just like whatever. Um, yeah, man, there's a lot of good people on Instagram. It's
Super, man.
and that I I think there's probably a lot of people on there pretending too, but I don't think it's a lot. I think everybody that you're seeing that you like, they're legitimately doing what they're doing, and you just enjoy
Yeah.
it. I think in years past, when you had like the original like real OGs, I think there were the people that were like that, and then there was a lot of people like pretending. And I think that
Right.
all got phased out, man, because everybody that I've been meeting from Instagram's legit, dude.
Super cool. Yo, it's
Yeah, it
super cool how you met the highway hopper too. Like, think about that.
was crazy.
Isn't that crazy? Like, if it wasn't for
Um,
Trollco, you guys would have drove right by each other or whatever.
yeah, man. And I was just like on my way to the airport, and I like to be early for shit. So I was in town like hours before, and I was like, I don't know, maybe I'll go like get lunch or something. And when I hopped on the group chat, maybe it was her stories, and she was like, yeah, we're here tonight, just
Yeah,
and so I messaged her. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm here right now. It was like the other side of the country, dude. And we like
that
stopped
is
and had
amazing.
lunch. Yeah,
That's so cool.
I can't wait to like be in the same place as like E for a day or a night. Like he seems like a super cool guy, and he's
Who?
Eric, the Big E.
Oh,
Um,
Big E.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because it like I think he said he did 120,000 kilometers and flew 70,000 last year. It was something stupid like that.
For what?
Work.
What does he do?
He's a crane mechanic. Well, he's like a big
Wow.
a specialty mechanic. So like they flew him out to Germany and shit because there's like real specific
Wow.
shit, and it's like, okay, he'll be there fucking in 2 days. It's so cool, man.
Wow.
I'd
Does he
like
have
to
a
get.
family? Like, is he married and stuff?
He's got kids. But I think they're on like he has his kids when he has his kids,
I was
and
just
when
wondering if he's leaving someone behind when he does all that traveling.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What a job, man.
fuck.
Like, it's one thing to be a crane operator, and then there's another thing is to fix it.
Yeah, being the badass that comes in. I like that traveling, man. If I could do that more, if I could be traveling 2 weeks a month, I'd fucking do it.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah, it depends what you're doing, like what you have going on in life, right? Because I can't leave, bro.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
can't. My wife travels too for her job. She goes to the States a lot. So if I'd be traveling and she's traveling, my kids would have no parents.
no. And it would be so like the frustration that would come from that,
Yeah.
for what?
We
Like,
wouldn't even make it. Yeah.
yeah. But it's cool that you see that. Like you guys are a unit. Like Nate and his wife are the same way. Like typically you have like a business owner and somebody that's got like a 9 to 5 job. Like that's typically how like a successful business owner goes. So he's got Nathan's Drywall and she owns the Massage Co. Like
That's
she's
right.
got
Yeah. Yeah.
like 3 locations for this thing. So they're both
Oh,
going
wow.
hard.
Nice.
Um that's kind I think that's what kept Nate from coming to the adventure. Like he's so involved with his kids, I'm jealous of it, man. I'd love to be more involved. I am.
I'd love to have both worlds because
That's
both
the thing.
worlds seem fabulous. In a perfect world, right?
Yes.
Sometimes you just got to prioritize things. It's hard, man. It's hard to just leave for over a week, right? Or even you left longer, right?
Yeah, dude.
So that's tough. And not only that, you went somewhere after, before, in between. You are everywhere.
I know, right? I love it. I do love it. Like March and April, I flew down to actually, we went out west because we had non-refundable flights. So Aaron was like, just fucking come out and hang out then.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, Cam and Chad and I went out with Wes. And then we came back. I went down to Charleston to do some stuff for Columbia and then came back. We went to fucking Orlando and then we went out to this site. Like it was just like go, go, go. But I love it. I wouldn't change it.
Good for you. It looks like fun, man.
Yeah,
You know, it's grass is always greener on the other side. Like
exactly.
that's what it is. That's why I said in a perfect world, I'd like both.
Yeah.
You know,
I
I'd love to go meet everyone.
I think we'll find more of that as people start retiring. Because you've got this bottleneck now where people haven't been retiring and people aren't being trained really right now. Like I think it's 750,000 in the next 10 years or something stupid that are retiring.
Is what?
That's
Oh,
how many
like
That's how many
from
people are
construction.
yeah. So it's going to be a huge, stupid number. And then they're going to need guys that are really good. That's kind of why I'm traveling now. So we can have a brand that everybody understands and then we'll get paid correctly down the road, you know?
I know nobody's getting into it anymore, bro. Nobody's getting into the blue collar stuff. I'm not speaking about the States because I'm not sure they have
Hmm.
hundreds of millions more people than us. But here, I'm telling you, around me right now, like I've been the youngest on site forever, it seems,
Yeah.
since I was 19. And you just barely see people want to get into it and do the blue collar stuff because you know how easy it is for them to make way more money online.
Yeah.
So nobody's getting into it. There's no incentives. When I got into it, Sean, I was king shit in front of my friends. I
Yeah.
made the most money. I had a because when I grew up, I we looked up to journeymans.
Yes.
You know, we looked up to them, we respected them, we idolized them. Oh, we're just another schmuck on site, get her done. You know what I mean? As opposed to what it was, honestly.
Yeah. But I mean, the sites that you're on, though, they're pretty fucking,
Bro, I earned that, man. I've been
yeah.
this one contractor that gets a lot of them. I've been so loyal to him. It's not like it's just been given.
No.
I've been loyal to him, responsible. And you know how it is, man. Like the community that we're around, a few hundred people, that's nothing, bro.
Yes.
That is like a needle in a haystack when you look at the broad of, if you count 340 million Americans and 40 million Canadians,
Yeah.
that's we're nothing of what the real trades are, which is honestly paycheck by paycheck guys, guys that don't show, guys that say they'll be there and don't show, guys that will get a progress and not finish. You
Yeah.
know, that's way more than what we see online. What we see online, it's minuscule.
Yeah.
It's people that have a head on their shoulder to pick up a camera and do a caption. So imagine the people that can't do that. There's tons of them out there.
Yeah, I remember going out of town, man, and doing like steel framing and board, and then we would call in these tapers, and like some of them were rough, dude. Like you were just like, holy fuck! Like you're in a hotel down the road and you're sick today. Like, what are you doing there?
And half day Fridays when the paychecks comes, it's everywhere, man.
Yeah,
So for me to be in all these customs right now and stuff, believe me, I earned it. They
yeah,
want me there. It's not like I'm forcing myself there because today one of the contractors I'm doing a house, I haven't talked to him in like 2 weeks. And he's like, hey man, I haven't talked to you in a while. He's like, it's easy not to talk to you because I know what's going on without talking to you. He's like,
yes,
when I say this is going to happen, they know I'm there. I know I'm getting done. They're not hearing from the builder. And it's tough to get that, man. A lot of self employed people take advantage of the whole thing. They just want to go home when it's nice out, have a few brewskis, and when tomorrow comes, it comes.
I kind of love being on a big project and like time stamping the end of the day, and it's like 11:30 at night, and it's like
I haven't done that in a while, but yes, I hear you.
you know, where it's like, you know, we're working. And then you know that the builder's watching. That's another
And you know,
one.
you're enjoying it too. If you're there that long, you're enjoying what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. If I'm getting to a site at 9 o'clock and I'm leaving at 11:30 at night, like you're rocking and rolling, man. You got your tunes going, you're like doing your best. You're trying to like make it aesthetically pleasing, you know, for pictures and shit. Like I
Hmm.
really enjoy finishing, man. But I haven't lost that love for it though either, because I'm not a fucking 10-year guy. Like there there's a
But
line,
you
I
definitely
think.
like it if you switched over.
Yeah, it's way
If you
better.
switched over, that means you do like it.
I, there is something that finishing does for me where it's like you're playing a game where how perfectly can you do this, you know, and it's never good enough, and it's
You can,
always that like
man, it's a
chase.
dangerous game.
Love it. And then
It's a
it's
dangerous game.
so I did my buddy's place. It was the first real big place I did by myself, and it was like 7,000 board feet or something. And I was doing it after work. Like it took like weeks, but
Wow.
he had time. Like he was building the house and then selling
Uh,
it. The market was shit. So he's like, we're not selling this till next year, dude. Take your time. So I really tried. And I walked out of there like, it's not as good as what I thought. It's not as good as what I wanted. And I was like, what did the painter say? And the painter walked in and was like, I've never seen anything like this because I tripled all my butts. I boxed every butt. Like I took my time on that house. It wasn't good enough for me, but they were like super fucking happy with it. And it's like, okay,
Nice.
maybe we're getting somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah.
but the difference is you can't spend time like that. You have to go. Like it has to get done. You got to find that fine line of like pick one room and do it fucking mint and the rest of it just like get it done, you
That's what
know?
sucks about our job. You
Yeah.
can't just bang it out.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's such a process that you just can't bang it out. Sometimes that irritates me when a boarder comes in and they set up for a high area and they're there once, they're done, they bring it down, you know? Instead, I I'm there 5, 6 times, you know?
Yeah.
But Ben M, not sure if you know him or not, Ben
Yeah. Oh
M
yeah.
taping. I've learned a couple of cool tricks, and one of them is when he goes, because he does really nice houses as well, like custom
Mm,
ones, and he deals with a lot of skylights and stuff, and so do I. And he does this thing where he goes in and he finishes all the skylights and anything with setups first.
smart.
Dude, and then when he's done, it's all level 5, ready to go for paint. He buckles the thing down. Now he's got freedom in the whole area. I
Right.
can't believe I've never thought of that.
Right.
Such a little detail that's so simple, and man, it just, what a difference.
And I mean, if you're going to be somewhere for a month, like a big house, like what you're saying, where you're doing the top
Yeah,
floor, like, take that time, fucking get ahead of schedule. Um, in Surrey, that's what we wanted to do with the staircase was tape it all out because I thought it was going to be like a congestion point where you got 8 people running around and the staircases were huge. Like you could have had 4 people walking up and down the stairs. So we didn't worry about it. But yeah, those are the types of things. Like, what are you going to fight around fucking scaffolding for a week and a half?
I
Like,
have been all my life, bro. I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
believe I just never.
brilliant.
You know what else was cool at Surrey is that scaffold that moves, dude.
Yeah, man. Metal Tech's,
Or a baker. It was a baker.
yeah, it is. So it's that red Baker scaffold is like reinforced. So its weight limit is something stupid. Um, but we had that with 2 more stacked on top of it, and we were driving it around. It was dope. It
What a
was dope.
game changer.
Yeah. And I mean, if you extended that cable up to the top, you could drive yourself around. Like, I don't think that would take much play at all.
That should be the purpose because you don't want to occupy another person or you just get them to push you.
Well, that's the whole reason for it, but it's only made for like the top of one scaffold. Like, I don't think
Right.
you're supposed to fucking quadruple deck this
Oh,
thing,
you're
but
not?
I don't know. We
So you
did.
guys MacGyvered that? I didn't know that. I thought like you could stack up on top of it.
Well, you can, like I do, because we did.
Yeah,
But that red unit comes with that. I think it's $1,400 for the whole set or whatever.
I
And
was
that'll
gonna
get
ask.
you up to one baker's height. And I mean, in a 10 foot, that's all you need. That's all you need, anyways.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And how many hours are you going to pay out for somebody to push your fucking scaffold around before it's
I did a house
1,500?
once. I did a house where the garages, they had 7 garages,
Whoa.
and it was like 32 feet a garage high. No joke. This house was worth $47 million. No joke, in Dalton Drive in Mississauga.
Nice.
So I had a scaffold of 3.5 high.
Okay.
I literally hired a guy for minimum wage to push me around.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do? 3.5 high. Think about that.
Yeah. You're going to be exhausted climbing up and down it.
And the guy had automatic levels on it where it picks up the car, you know, and then like parks it up top, and then he'll get other cars underneath. He was a car collector, and it wasn't even
That's
his main house. It was a house. His main house was in the Bahamas or something, and this was like a side Ontario house. His parents owned pharmacies, legal
okay.
drugs.
Yeah. 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 Legal drug dealings. There's some good money in
Yeah,
that. I'm
Well,
starting
it's
to see
legal
that.
because they say it's legal.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's cool to catch up with you, man. This is a long time coming.
This was cool.
Yeah,
How
man.
long? Wow, 2 hours there.
Yeah, pretty. We're getting there. Yeah, fuck yeah. Um, what other platforms and stuff are you on? So you're on TikTok? Good for you.
So, why is that a good thing?
No, I don't know. I just fuck. I did it for
Oh,
a bit, and it was just like a time suck. I'm not good at it. I don't care about algorithms. Like it just.
yeah,
It's not for
it
me,
doesn't
man.
tickle your fancy.
I like
I
it.
want to. Like I heard, I remember Nick was telling me that Cam does really well on TikTok.
He's monetizing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he's doing. That's how well he's doing, eh?
Yeah, and I mean Cam's Cam. He's got his own way of doing things, right? And he's
Right.
cool. He's fucking cool, and he's good at what he does. But here in Canada, you can't monetize anyways. You could have like the Gilberts have like I don't know. I want to say a million because I have no idea how many followers they have. But we can't monetize up here, so it's not even.
No, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Sucks for them anyways because it's like they've earned that now. They should be making fucking bank off of that and
Yeah.
and we just can't
Nothing?
because we're Canadian. Yeah, it's part of the terms, I guess.
I honestly did not know that.
Yeah, we can do YouTube and I think Instagram and Facebook has like commercial like you can monetize that stuff too. Um but I don't know anything about it. Like again, that'd be a good thing to talk to the
Like
group about.
Facebook, if you get a certain amount of followers or whatever, you don't
I think it's views. I think it has something to do with like your views and your engagement. And then basically what they do is like in between your reels or like at the end of one of your reels, there would be like a fucking Mazda commercial. Because if you've got good
gotcha.
retention and people are watching your shit, it's going to lead into like a commercial.
Right.
And then you get paid for that, which is cool. Yeah,
So
dude.
what can you get monetized on? Instagram?
Instagram does so. Slim was just talking about that in the group chat, where Instagram, Facebook, and then obviously like companies do work with you as well, right? Where they'll do like a marketing campaign, like that AI thing he's working on now.
Right.
That'd be like a contract over a while, but I think monetizing means from your views and engagement, you get X amount per X amount or whatever.
And in
Um,
Canada, you can't?
I don't think not on TikTok, we can't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Oh, not
weird.
on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got you. Why? Gilbert Girls are on TikTok as well?
That's where they came from. So
Oh,
when they showed up on Instagram, Jill from Colombia, who's like the marketing person at the time, was like message Barley's dad if you want any ideas on how we like our content or something like that. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, that's cool, your auto taper. And I'm looking at their views, like at their following and stuff. And I'm like, how do I not know who they are? And like, where the fuck did they come from? They're so good at what they're doing. And then I saw them on TikTok and I was like, oh, like you're a monster on
right.
another platform. Like it made
Yeah.
sense real quick where they came from. Um, yeah, so I think that's where they got started. That's where Teak got started too. She said that the other day. Where you grow your thing on TikTok. But it's a different platform, man. It's too
Yeah, I
like,
haven't even flirted with it yet.
yeah. The other part of it was I would sit down and like go to like all this, my friends' stuff, and then I would be there for like 2 hours. It knows what you want, dude. Like I would be sitting there at 11 o'clock, and some dude with a knife in the woods is like making a steak dinner or some shit, and then it would like go to like someone opening Pokemon cards, and like like it would take me all over the fucking
It
place.
knows how to keep you.
And it did because I was like, oh yeah, I like ducks or whatever, like whatever the next, you know what I mean? And it was all over the place, and I had to get rid of it. I was like, this thing is fucking a time suck, and I'm no good at it. It's gonna bring me no joy, dude. It's just like very good at keeping your attention.
I
Eh,
started Facebook
Yeah,
and I'm not getting any traction. I just don't know how to work it.
Facebook was funny. I started posting like my custom carpentry stuff at the time, and I got a couple of them that hit into the millions, and I ended up with like 60 something hundred followers, but I've never seen them and no one's ever messaged me. Like it was very, very weird. Like my
Yeah,
Facebook is like my friends. That's like how I
right.
keep in touch with like my buddies, like high school people.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, somehow I've got some huge amount of followers, but I don't ever see likes and I never see comments and I never see, so it's like I don't understand how the whole thing happens on Facebook.
yeah. I can't seem to figure it out. I haven't done much effort on it. I just post whatever I post on Instagram. Sometimes I'll go on there and post
Yeah.
it, but it doesn't, man, Insta's is good to me comparing to Facebook. It's not, but I haven't put full effort into it. So
You can set it because they're both meta. Like
hold on.
mine.
So in the beginning, I had them connected. So when I
Okay.
posted on Insta, posted on Facebook, it actually affected my Instagram views.
Like
So
negatively?
stuff on my, yeah, so stuff
Oh
that I would get
shit.
1 million views on in the other account, I was only getting like 4,000, 5,000, and it
Ooh.
stops. Like if you scroll back to Tmak tape in the beginning,
Yeah.
you'll see those reels. I had 1 million on them in my other account, and now
Right.
they're not even 10K.
That's crazy.
So I stopped that connection, and now I'm flowing again.
Huh. Maybe I should fucking do that. You're saying
Is yours
10K.
connected?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I like it because like my mom's on Facebook, so she can watch my stories,
Right.
and like my uncles and
Oh,
cousins and
so I
all
have
that
no,
shit.
hold on. I have my stories connected still.
Okay, but now your posts.
Now my post or reels.
Right.
You can do
Hmm.
that. And right before you send it out, whatever it is, you can go into the settings and it asks you.
All right. I'll try that.
Yeah, give it a go.
Dude, my shit is like 600 people.
Bro, you don't care. That's
I
why.
don't care at all.
And that's why. That's the only reason why it's like that. So you can't say that as
Yeah.
if you care. You said you don't care. That's why it's like that.
Yeah. And I mean, and I guess I don't really check. Maybe I should go check before I start talking shit, but
You
um
definitely have more than 600 views on
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should look. That's all part of that.
And
Like,
you
I don't
and
want to
you
get
have
into
more
it.
comments. And you have
Yeah.
more comments than others. And that just shows how connected you are with the
The
community.
thing I really like is the stories. Like, um, at like the peak of it all, there was like 300 people, but out of like whatever, 15 or 1600 or whatever I've got,
Mhm.
I'm like, that's fucking a lot of like
Bro,
percentage.
and like for me, I told you yours is not coming off my feed right off the bat. Remember I
Yeah,
was
that's
telling you that?
weird. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So sometimes you'll be far and I won't watch enough stories to get to it. That's
Yeah,
how it is with your 1600.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like they're not watching, it's just they haven't got to it.
Right. It's
You know what I mean?
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right because the people that I watch the most, they're lined up first. I'm finding that.
It's your interactive. When you go in your insights,
Right.
it tells you who you're most interactive with or not.
Huh. That's interesting. But I kind of like
Hmm.
that because it's like again, I love the following and followers and all that kind of stuff, but like some of these people I really don't know very well. And like if Cam's got a new thing out or like you do or Steve or whoever, I want to
It
see
gives you
that
that
shit
first.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is good. Yeah, man. It's kind of nice that all the adventures and stuff are done for right now. Like I could just kind of breathe for a
Are
bit.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just for a minute. Like we're talking about
Where are you working now?
Nebraska, CSR.
Are you working
um
at CSR?
yeah, so the Berry store's got this like addition to the bathroom that's now an office above it.
Oh my God. I saw your story. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be
Yeah. Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
That's all gonna be fresco, floor to ceiling. Like, because
Wow.
we can't have any dust. All the fucking racks and all the stuff that's in there.
Oh,
So it's got to be dustless. And I'm like, even with a fucking HEPA there's gonna be dust.
wow. I never
So
thought of that.
yeah,
And you know
man.
what? I never thought of this dustless too. I never
Yeah,
put two and two together.
it's cool. we're doing this real deep purple on one of the walls. It's gonna look cool, I hope.
Can't wait to learn, man.
It's gonna be dope. Yeah, man.
Just because I want to do this one
Yeah. You'll
and I
get
want to
bit by
do
the
good.
bug. You'll get bit by the bug 100%.
You know who else is good? Faith, I think. Faith Bayless.
Yeah.
She killed a couple of walls, eh? The last wall she did.
It's the it's you guys that are so good with the trowels already.
Hmm.
It because the fresco takes a little bit of finesse to leave the lap marks and like that kind of stuff, but your understanding of putting material on the wall is top notch. So for you to
Right.
just fresco a fucking wall, like you don't have to make it flat, like you want it to be all over the place. So you would smash it. Just because you like that understanding of get the material onto the wall, go, 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 like you'd kill it, man.
So when we're at the training thing, the event, is it the wall's gonna be, it's gonna be a wall, not something down. It's gonna be something that's,
Um, I think he's trying to get a couple of walls set up.
I'd love that, man, to
Yeah,
do it actually like how I would be doing it on the wall.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. The first time that we did it, there was like four or
Yeah,
five actual walls. So I'll
yeah.
just message Nick and tell him that you want, like, if there
I'll
is
ask
any,
him.
to hold it for you. Yeah.
Well, not don't hold it for me. It's
Well,
just,
just you know what I mean.
yeah.
Be like, this one's special.
When is he coming down?
Wednesday. So he's flying into Columbus, and then Nick, Cam, and Wes are all driving up together. So I think it's like
Uh,
4 hours or 6 hours or
nice.
something. Yeah, but Wednesday night they come in. Maybe it's Wednesday morning. I don't know, man. I know that they're staying here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. Um, I'm a good friend like that. Like, what do you need from me? But I'm fucking terrible with like what your schedule is. I don't give a fuck what your schedule is. Like, you just tell me what you need from me. I'll make sure it happens, you know? Uh, I feel bad. Um, yeah, it's gonna be good, man. I'm excited to meet you. It'll be cool to see you and like
That's super cool. Yeah, I can't wait for sure.
yeah, it'll be a good event, dude. Well, awesome. Do you got anything else any shout outs to do, anything like that?
No, shout out to the drywall community.
Dope. That is the correct answer. All right, man. That was a fucking dope podcast. We'll wrap her up. Be
It was a
humble,
pleasure, brother.
treat everyone the same, and do your fucking job.